Good evening and welcome. Welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I've been doing this twice a day since October 2018. That's 18 months. And I do 14 live streams a week. It's all about what I call the child protection system. That's what CPS is. It's a child protection systems found in every county and every state in the U.S. It's also found worldwide. I do have 22 countries now that have listened and texted in and actually called, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India to the Middle East to Saudi Arabia to Libya, then over to the continent of Africa to Liberia to Sudan to a new country called the Republic of Congo, and then Rwanda, Mozambique, and then the South African country and two provinces there. Then up to Europe, England, Scotland, Wales, Denmark, and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, 4 provinces in Canada, and then all 50 states have called in. Many states have called in. Plus, I've had the District of Columbia. South of the border, I have Mexico, and then down in South America, North Brazil, I've had Grenada on the East Coast. And then across the Pacific, I've had New Zealand, and then land down under Australia with 2 of its states. So it's been a remarkable group of people. And good evening, child. I missed you this morning. I didn't see you on. We had an interesting podcast this morning. But anyway, I'm glad you're here tonight. Child is represented by Mr. Davis. He's our attorney, and he's from Los Angeles, California. And that's okay, because what Child does, he gives me a lot of support in praying, which I think is really nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Because prayers do wonders. Now, I'm starting my show a little bit late. Unfortunately, actually, I'm starting at 20 minutes late. I had trouble getting a computer tonight, and I rely on my boys. And one boy's in school, and they got late on the bus, so I had to start my live stream a little bit late there. So I let my show producer know, but I never heard from it. So this is seen around the world in all 50 states, and I've talked to over 1,000 people. And so 78 weeks I've been doing this live stream. 78 weeks. Wow. That's over 1,091 hours. Geez, that's a long time. So I figured, maybe it's better at saying it 2,000 people than 1,000, because I know I've talked to more than one person. One person would be 1,000 people, but I've talked to probably close to 2 people. So that's a lot of people I've talked to. And every time I get ready to come on, I think about it ahead of time, what I'm going to talk about, how I can help you. I really care about you as a person. I'm a loving father. I'm a husband. I have 42 years of experience, and I've helped raise 6 children. And 2 of my children still live with me at home. So there's a family of 4. And I have a lot of life skills that I can help you out with. And it's been a hard fought battle, CPS, for me because I've been fighting for 15 years. It started in 2010 for me. Unfortunately, I lost a job through no fault of my own. And losing a job is really a hard thing to adjust with. I was 60 at the time in 2010, and I'd worked 45 years. And that is a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And now the situation with CPS has been hard. It really has been really difficult to deal with an agency that sometimes is corrupt or gone rogue. Not all CPS is bad, but there's a lot of them that are rogue, and a lot of you tell me that. I've learned so much from you all about what they've done. There was a news article that I was sharing with everybody last night and this morning about a Navy veteran and his wife who still had a 1-month-old child she was breastfeeding, and they ripped the child from her. No probable cause. It was the worst case I've ever seen of CPS and police brutality. That's the problem. The police now, they're bad police and bad CPS. And they really have hurt us because sometimes they overboard, go jealousy or whatever the case may be. But I'm here to help you all. I'm here to help you with your questions and your concerns. And it's good to see you, Margaret. I know you came on this morning at the tail of my show, so I'm glad you worked your way back. I'm so glad to see you. Margaret's from California in the Kern County, and she also has hired Mr. Davis too. And Child and Margaret come on to support this live stream. And I'm so glad you do here. There's a lot of praying on by Child. He does a lot of praying for us. There's Christine Young, and I know CPS is horrible, Christine Young, and I have no idea where you're from. Let me put up something here that you interact with the live stream. To text a comment or a question, it should be petitioned to CPS. Please state your first name, your city or county, state, and country. Yes, I do mean country. And also, please tell me about your CPS case from beginning to where you are now. That brings us up to speed. Hold on 1 second here. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry I had to take care of a family member and a family matter. This is tax day, and one of my family members is doing his taxes and needs some paperwork. Yes, it is tax day, and we all are supposed to turn it in or ask for extension. You can get extension automatically. You file extension on your tax return. You don't have to file it into the fall. You can get extension on it. But you got to hold off if you let them take money from you. Now, fighting CPS is a nightmare. It's not simple. Reason being is they're not nice. What I mean by not nice, they really will steal from you. They'll build you up and tear you down. They really do. Christine Young, I know exactly what you're going through. I don't know where you're from, Christine, but if you could show me your place you're from, I could try to help you. Now, they have two of her kids in different situations and accusations. Sounds like you got a handful. Now, Amanda has been on before. Welcome back, Amanda, and good evening to you too. I think Amanda, I don't know. I don't know where Christine Young is, and Amanda, I forgot. I feel really bad. I usually remember everybody, but I forgot. Yes, I know CPS needs to be exposed. There's a lady named Nancy Schaefer, who's in her 70s, and she was murdered because she was exposed in CPS. They say that she committed suicide, but her children say differently. She was a senator in Georgia and want to eliminate CPS. I don't want to eliminate CPS. I want to correct it. I want to change it. It's got to be workable. Now, they're supposed to, Congress in 1962 passed a law that social services would be the lead agency that take care of our children in the United States. All that meant is that they directed social services to create a group of social workers to protect our children from neglect and abuse. So social services was entrusted to create this protection. What's happened, though, is this group has gone rogue. They've gone bad. They now think money is more important than family unification. That was supported by President Bill Clinton, who in '94 passed the Incentive Act, which said, we'll give you $10,000 to $20,000 for every child you get adopted into foster care. They said reunification takes too long. It's going to be a minimum because if you have to do that program called domestic violence, that's a 52-week course. It takes a whole year. So you're going to have to spend at least a year. But the biggest thing you got to do is get an attorney. That is my rule number one. Draw up an attorney. And you need to have the attorney trained in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law, because that's the area that CPS operates out of. You're the Western Virginia. That is a hard state. That's where Bill Clinton's from. And I don't envy you. CPS is awful in West Virginia. But what can help you, Christine? Amanda, they use the good old boy system to gain revenue from taking children and babies. Yes, they do, Amanda. That's very true. South Carolina. Now I remember. Okay, yes, you're from South Carolina. South Carolina's gotten a lot of rain, a lot of hurricane, a lot of fires, and it's sad. It really is sad. Now, another way that you can, I'm going to try to make this bigger so I can see it. Okay, now I can see it a little bit better. Wow, what a difference. And thank you, Margaret, for all your prayers, too. That really is appreciated. But, You can also, besides texting in a comment or question me, you could also be a guest. I had a beautiful couple last night, Audrey and Marcus. If you're out there, I need you to contact me. Try to text me in the show that you're in here. Anyway, they had a horrible case involving 4 children. And it is sad. Their case was really hard. And they talked for a good hour about that. That was great last night that they did talk. Now, to be a guest on my live stream, all you have to do is pick one of my 14 live streams. I'm on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again on the weekend at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And on the evenings, I'm on 7 nights a week. That's at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm on. So you email Grace at vincentwdavis.com with a day and time you want to be on our show. She, in turn, will give you the details about what to say and the rules and so forth, okay? So she'll give you the link to be on our show. And I use StreamYard, and I'm on the StreamYard. I'm on that's the application I broadcast through YouTube. I have 7 rooms from Facebook that channel into this particular room. This room has a name for it. It's called CPS Defense Attorney Vincent Davis. And then my 7 other rooms all channel in. So I'm looking for some questions tonight. So that I can help you. Now, I'm going to give you my phone number. That means I'm live right now. My phone number is 626-698-0990. So please call in. And if you call in, either on the phone to my number or your guest on my live stream, you'll be entitled to a free 15-minute private consultation during Zoom with Vincent Davis. That's a very valuable 15 minutes. You make a list of questions, prioritize them, and ask away. He's not a clock watcher, but he'll give you a good 15 minutes. Yes, you can call in, Luke Deutsch. I don't know where you're from, but you could call in. That'd be great. And Zan, once filing a USC, what are the next steps? I don't know what you mean by USC. I know the University of Southern California, but what USC are you talking about? What are the next steps? And where are you from, Zan? Zan and Lou Doit, you can call in 626-698-0990. I don't bite, and I should have, let me see, I think I heard a chirp here on my phone, making sure. Well, I missed a call. Let me give them a call and see what happened. Hey, good evening. Did you just call in to my live stream? This is Bob Pace.
Yes, I did.
Oh, I didn't get you the ring on it. I just heard one ring. Are you on the show tonight as one of the people?
Yes.
Which one are you?
I'm Lou Dewitt.
Lou.
H-D-O.
Yeah, I see you now. Hello, can you call in? I don't know why it didn't ring, but I'm glad. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay. What part of the world are you from?
I'm from Florida.
You're from Florida, northern Florida? I mean, what county are you in Florida?
Pinellas County.
Okay. I don't know that particular county. Is that close to Gainesville?
It's by Tampa, Gainesville, Miami.
Okay.
All that good stuff. But make a long story short, my children was taken last year. This year makes a year and maybe 20 days, and I completed the program and everything. But my question is to you that they dropped the charges, but they still was pushing for adopting my children. I don't know why, but they keep using, basically, when I was going to counseling, the counselor told me that I had to confess to the charge or they were going to take my children. So
they're trying to coerce you? They were trying to coerce you?
Yes, it's in writing that I had to confess to the crime or my children was being taken. Mm-hmm. So, make a long story short, after that, the state stood up and said that they couldn't adopt my children because I was already in the process of completing the program. Like these CPS workers, if you complain on them, they make it harder for you.
Yeah, they do.
I would complain on them to the judge and everything. So now that they were trying to adopt my children off, the state stood up and said they couldn't adopt them. All in all, they ended up nolling, N-O-L-E. It's like a Spanish word, nolling my charges. So then they dropped the charges on me. So I want to know what would happen next. I have a meeting tomorrow.
Where is your children? If they drop the charges, where are your children?
They still have them.
Well, if they drop the charges, why do they still have your children?
Because they're using behavior. They saying that my behavior. They told me that on the report back in February that I had to confess to the charge, or they were going to keep my kids. They still got my kids, and the charges were dismissed on the 28th of March. They said that the evidence that criminal evidence is not the same thing as CPS. Investigation.
Well, they have two kinds of things that can happen to you. You could be charged by CPS for neglect or abuse. You can also be charged a criminal charge for neglect or abuse, and that's by the police. And you can have two separate charges. Now, did you have a criminal charge against you? Did the police ever arrest you?
Yes, they arrested me and never read me my rights, so they know they threw out the charges.
Did you ever get an attorney?
Yes, my attorney is so sorry. I have a dependency lawyer. His name is Sam Bennett. He's sorry. He tells me he don't know what's going on in the case. He don't know what would happen. He don't know anything.
Well, is he a court-appointed attorney, or did you hire him?
I hired him, and I couldn't afford him anymore. And I told him that, but he decided to stay on my case.
Now, when you hired this attorney, was he experienced in juvenile law, dependency law, family law?
All of that. He's from PA.
What do you mean he's from the PA?
He's not from here. He moved down here. And when I look at his reviews on black people, and I'm not racist or anything, but I look on his reviews on black people and the stuff that black people say towards what the other race say. And the other race said that he fights for them, and black people say that he doesn't fight for them. He sat on my case. So he sat on my case, didn't fight for me, didn't get, like he hasn't got any paperwork from me stating that I have done everything. Nothing. Filed motions, anything.
Wow. How did it start in the beginning? I mean, were you just at home when the CPS came knocking, or what?
Well, I got into it it started in St. Pete. My son, he wanted to smoke weed. Basically, I caught him smoking on March 15th. And when I caught him smoking, I called the police on myself. And the police told me that there was nothing that they can do because, he never been in trouble before. So
well, how old was he? Was he a minor?
Yes, he was 14 years old.
Well, isn't the law in Florida that you have to be 21 before you smoke pot?
Yes. So then they told me that they couldn't do anything.
What do you mean they can't do anything? They can arrest him. He's a minor.
No. said they couldn't do anything because he never been in trouble before. So I let it be. So
okay.
the next week, I catch him smoking again. So I went to one of the family members that doesn't like me. It was like my dad's grandmother. I went to her, and me and her ended up getting into it because she stated to me that it was okay for him to smoke weed. I stated to her, no, it wasn't. She called her daughter, who I never seen or never talked to before, called the police and CPS and told them that she witnessed me hit my son. When they came here, my son had a knot, but it was he had a scar, but he had got into a fight previously before this. So he had like a scratch, but it was like a healed scratch. Make a long story short, they took my kids. They came in my house. Matter of fact, my son was downstairs taking out the trash, putting something in the trash, and they walked inside my house, and I was here cleaning up my house, getting ready for my kids' school the next day, and they arrested me. They never read me my rights. They just told me that I was going in the back of the police car because my children were scared of me, and they arrested me. Yeah.
Is there a biological father involved?
Nobody. No, my kids are all in foster care with different people. They told my family that they was not giving my dirty family members to my children. They said my dirty family members, they're not giving any of my children to any of my dirty family members.
Oh boy. What happened to how many children are biological yours?
5.
So you have 5 biological children. Are they all the same father, or are they different fathers?
Different fathers.
So how many different fathers are we talking about?
5.
And did all 5 of them not want anything to do with their child?
No.
Did you try to get child support?
I get child support for one of the kids, but they don't make the dads pay child support. Half of my baby's dads in prison, so it's nothing that I can do but finish college. Like I'm in college now. I'll be graduating in January for a mortician. So I'm not really worried about the fathers. This is my choice. I open up my legs. I have these kids, so I'm not complaining about the fathers.
Okay.
I'm just worried about trying to get my children out of the system because they dropped the charges on me. They know it because my son ran away and never showed up at the court date, to any of the court dates. So they couldn't proceed with anything.
Well, wait, there could be a warrant out for his arrest. There'll be a warrant out for his arrest.
It is. So they know the charges because they didn't have anything. Mind you, he's 14 years old. He's running because he's scared. Mind you, my dad's sister, he made a video and stated to the people that my dad's sister told him to tell the police that I hit him. All in all, I never hit him at all.
Okay.
He was told to say I hit him. He was basically, my auntie bribed him into saying that I hit him because I disrespected her mother. So she got my son to say I hit him, and that's how I went to jail and got my children taken.
Wow.
You see how the pattern goes?
Yes, I do.
Her mama, she used my son as a leverage, and that's how she got in with the situation. She's a buzzman. She's a buzz mommy. So she had more leverage over me. They believed her over me. Like, she would call CPS still on me as they got my kids now. They were still reporting on me.
Well, does your kids want to be in foster care?
They already in foster care, but they ready to come home. They were different.
No, I'm just trying to say, it seems like to me, if your kids want to be in foster care, I know you love your kids, but if you can't force them, but are they upset with you, or do they want to come home to their mama?
They want to come home. We've been going to visits and stuff for a year. I have completed all the case plan and stuff. I have completed the intensive parenting, individual counseling, family counseling. We haven't completed that yet because the children be feeling like the process is so long. So they missed a whole month, but we've been having visits and everything since October. But they be feeling like they want to go to after school programs to hang with their friends and stuff like that, and there's nothing that I can do, but I'm held accountable for it.
Yeah.
so there, I have a paper. My counselor told me he thinks that I should bring the confession to the judge's attention, because how should they want me to confess something that I didn't commit?
Well, you shouldn't have to be forced. And again, if you have a good attorney, now what you can do is you can go to the state bar of Florida and complain about your attorney, and they'll investigate that attorney. If it's found to be true, they will debar him. And also, you can sue that attorney for negligence too, for not performing in your case. Now, if he has a background, he knows how to fight CPS, there's no excuse. Now, I thought it was a court-appointed attorney where CPS provide you the attorney. Those attorneys are a waste of time.
I couldn't afford him, but I told him, and he ended up staying on my case. All in all, when I had that child abuse third-degree felony, he decided to take both cases, but he sat on the case instead of subpoena my son. He sat on the case the whole year. When I call him, all he can say is he don't know nothing about the case. He don't know. He don't know. He don't know what the case. So it's like, I do want to file something on him, but it's like I don't want to lose my children, even though I'm not being treated fairly.
Well, unless you have if you have a piece of paper that says your case is closed, has CPS dismissed your case, or do you still have your parental rights?
No, I still have my parental rights.
Okay, good. Don't lose them. Don't leave them. Don't lose them.
The people who have my children, my baby is trying to adopt my child off. Like, I haven't seen my baby in a whole year.
Wow. And how old is the baby?
He's 9, but they basically said that he don't have to come to anything. He don't have to come to visits. My son stays literally 2 minutes away from me, and I can't see him. The boy he's a non-relative, and he doesn't bring him to anything. He basically don't even let me see my son at all. Yeah. I was treated so unfairly in this system that I wouldn't give up, but I cried every day. I did. I cried every day. It was tough. I didn't want to look at nobody's kids. I stayed in school. I was in school day in and day out. I stayed with mom 16 hours a day because I was so depressed.
Yeah.
Never sleep. None. It was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's a guy named Jason. He's on my case, and he's I think he's on their side, but he's a very good person, and I believe that the Lord sent him to be on my case because everybody else was like being racist towards me and nasty towards me. He stood up and said that they wasn't giving me no visitation or anything before. He stood up, he got on the case and stood up and said, y'all need to get this girl visitations on the Zoom. He was like trying to make them make a way because they didn't have transportation to bring my kids to different transportation.
Right.
Different visits.
Right.
They don't. So I understand it's hard, but don't take nobody's kids if y'all don't know the truth. Y'all only going off for a hearsay.
Yes.
It's like they judge you. A lot of people judge you on the color of your skin and how you look. They don't know if you did anything. Mind you, you don't see these CPS workers, but probably when you have to go and see them for med camp. That's the only time I see these people. But I'm being judged every day. I file grievance on them and everything. And the more you complain on them, the more they make it harder for you to get your children back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that's what I've been going through for a whole year. And I finally completed everything, but it's still hard.
Have you heard my
Have you
heard my live stream before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see live stream every day.
Okay, good. I just hope there's 5 rules I talk about, and I want to let you know that it's important you follow those 5 rules. Now, there's another person in this room called Zan, and been following the USC. What are the next steps? Now, I don't know what you mean by USC, but 42 USC, 1983. I'm in Evergreen State, Washington. Let's go. I just filed my 1983 in our district court about DCYF, which is CPS, violating interstate compact with my 5-year-olds. And I guess they hired Mr. Davis, which is good because they're using ICPC, which is called the Interstate Compact for Children, and is supposed to protect your children when they're transported from state to state. And Zan, I don't know what your question is, but I'd like to help you. Also, we have this person called Queen. They know my charges and closed the DCS case too. I still haven't saw my kids since August, so Queen B has the same problem you do. They put me in a registration list for lack of supervision, and on that paper they said the case was closed 9/30. They had criminal charges were dropped October 1st of last year. Now, Queen, my son stole the car. Oh boy. And my son was 14 when he stole the car. My case is almost the same as yours, she's saying. I don't know if your son has stolen a car, but
no, he was breaking in houses, but he decided the friends that he was hanging with, I kept telling him, hey, none of these kids is your friends. So a few days ago, his friend got killed. Mm-hmm. The friend had just came here to forgive him, and the friend got killed. For the same, what that girl just said, that's why that girl's son got killed. They said it on the news, on Fox 13. It's crazy because you try to protect your children, and it's like the more you try to protect your children, the more they feel like you hurting them. My children, I go to school, church, and home, and I don't have friends. I only went to that family member because I needed some type of help. I didn't think that she was going to turn on me with my child.
Wow.
But it is what it is. You know, life goes on, you know, and I feel like when I get my kids back and they close my case, I'm moving out of state. Like, I'm out of here. I don't have nothing.
Well, it doesn't sound like you have much of the family supporting you, which is tough when you have a CPS case. When your family members are against you, it's really tough.
And they use family against you. Like, they want to know why family ain't dealing with you. They want to know why people is against you, why people don't like you. People can call in and make statements about you. Do you know they're going to believe everything that people say about you? That's how it goes. Like, right. They told me, okay, so they diagnosed me as bipolar. They gave me depression, and I can't sleep. I haven't slept for like a whole year. And they diagnosed me with bipolar, so now they talk about I'm crazy, all kind of stuff. But how I'm crazy, and I'm a mortician. I go to school fully. I got 4 A's in college. I don't know what you're talking about. They put lies in the report out.
They always do. They do lie. They're desperate. They also retaliate too. I want to say hello to some new people that came in. Brandy Lay. Hello, Brandy. You're talking about the Garden of Lighten. Can you sue them? Yes, you can sue them. She's a grandmother, and she's trying to get her grandchildren. Queen Bee says she had a hearing on March 20th and didn't serve me a summons. Now they said I can't see mine till they're 18. That's not true. You have something called your parental rights. Unless they've been terminated, you can still do reunification. The key to any success is you have to get the right kind of attorney with the right kind of background. And that is the tough part. Some of you just pull an attorney or take the court-appointed attorney, and they're not going to get your kids back. The court-appointed attorney is the worst you can deal with.
Right.
So, and Maddie Ellis, I don't know where you're from, but thank you. Queen, I think she told me where she's from. I already forgot. I think Queen is from.
I was looking. Tell Queen she's gonna have to look up civil suits. They said if they filed civil suits on them, they will return their children back. But I have to wait till I get my. The thing is, she can do it now since her charges was dismissed last year. She can file a civil suit now. She needs to get on there and start Googling. It's a guy named Vince on YouTube. He be on your page. Look at Vince. Look Google CPS's case and like how do reunification go? How they took your rights.
Okay. Queen, I think is.
He has to file a civil suit.
Yeah, I agree. And you're talking about Vincent W. Davis? You're talking about the lawyer Vincent W. Davis?
Yes, he's great.
And I know he's great. I work for him. He's the guy that put the show together.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I was on. 15-minute counselor. She may need to talk to him because she could file a civil suit to get her child back.
Well, all Queen has to do is call in. You can either be a guest on my show or call in, and you get a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. Would you like that? Would you like to talk to Mr. Davis?
Hang up.
Pardon? Would you like
I
to?
can tell her to call.
Would you like to have a free 15 minutes with Vincent Davis, Lou Don? Would you like to have a free 15-minute Zoom private consultation with Mr. Davis? Are you still there?
Yes.
All right. Would you like a private consultation with Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir. I will.
Okay. You got paper and pencil?
Yes.
What you're going to do is you're going to text me the number you just called in, 626-698-0990. And you text me your name, your full name, your email, and your phone number. And then I, in turn, will send it to my show producer, and she'll set up a private one-on-one with Mr. Davis for 15 minutes. So you make a list of questions, prioritize them, and you'll be able to talk to Mr. Davis for talking on my show. You get a free 15-minute with one of the best CPS attorneys around. He's been doing this for 39 years. He's a trial attorney. He's also done civil lawsuits. Your case is over, he'll file a civil lawsuit and win millions of dollars back from CPS. He's fought in both state court and federal court. And so he will help you. He will help you. He's a good attorney. And he is well-schooled in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. So he knows it's the real deal with Vincent Davis.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So don't forget that. Save that there. And after we end our conversation, you text me the information, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, Zan, you're welcome to call in too. Queen, you're welcome to call in. I guess we had Lou Doss sign off so that my phone number is free now. La Doit, thank you so much. She was from Florida. Zan is from the state of Washington. And you can call in. And also, Queen, I know what you're saying about knowing your charges and close the case. You have to have a letter from them, specifically from the CPS agency, saying your case is closed. You got to have that letter. You got to make sure you're expunged too. You don't want it to sit on your record. Now, Amanda, I know they love to change allegations, so it went from sexual to medical to something else. It's called about the money they get. I agree. Queen, if you want to call in, the number's live. Ah, here we go. We got somebody. Welcome. This is Bob Pace. You're talking on live stream.
Hey, Bob. This is Molly Ellis.
Oh, hi. Glad to meet you, Molly Ellis. Thank you very much for the kind words you said earlier.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I came across your channel, your show. So I have a case here in Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's a little bit further along, and I unfortunately trusted. I'm represented by LABL, Los Angeles Defense Lawyer, and it's been a nightmare.
Well, first of all, was this attorney public defender or someone that was appointed by CPS?
It's a public defender. It's for Los Angeles here, Edelman's Children's Court. It's the firm that takes all of the. They do pretty much, I think, all of the public defender work.
Well, the problem with public defender, it sounds great. You get something for free, but you're not going to be defended about the case because they work for CPS. And they're
Yes.
not trained in juvenile law, family law, or dependency law. And in fact, you're very lucky. You called in and you're entitled to get a free 15-minute private consultation with Mr. Davis, who is a proven CPS attorney. He has both juvenile law experience, family law experience, and dependency law. He's won thousands of cases, gotten back thousands of children. He's also a trial attorney. He's been doing this for 39 years. He once was a foster kid himself, so he knows the system, and he will talk to you free for 15 minutes. After we get through talking, I'll tell you how you can do that. But can you tell me a little bit about the beginning of your case? How did this first happen to you, Molly?
Well, what happened was I was actually fleeing a domestic violence situation in Florida. This was almost exactly a year ago, so April 2024. Had just arrived in Los Angeles, and I fully own that this was my wrongdoing. I made the judgment error of leaving my then very mature 8.5-year-old with my 4.5-year-old who was sleeping, and then our service dog in the car alone for 15 minutes going into a Walmart to purchase dinner. I was arrested. The children were taken. It was completely cut. It was 59 degrees outside. If anything, they were cold. Windows were up. But they tried to say, the children couldn't breathe. It was so hot in the car. And my daughter, on the body cam, is saying, "I'm cold. I'm cold." She's
let me stop you there for a second. You were at Walmart, and in your van you had a service dog, and how many children? Two. And the ages of the two children?
At the time, it was 4 and 8. Now they're 5 and 9.
Yeah, 4 and 8-year-old. Now, is the 8-year-old pretty responsible?
Extremely responsible.
And what was the reason why you didn't bring him into the store with you?
The 4-year-old was asleep, and I decided not to wake her up. The 8-year-old knew I was just running in really fast to grab something to eat. Mm-hmm. And on my way out, I was literally swiping my card to check out on my way. Please come in. Bottom line is, Bob, I was arrested, 2 days in jail, released, and criminal charges were not filed. They were misdemeanor charges.
It's still misdemeanor is still a crime. You were probably endangered your kids, is what the crime was, right?
Exactly.
And then how did CPS get involved? Did they come when you were arrested?
Yes. I went to jail.
And they took the children. You didn't. Where was the biological father? Where's the biological father?
Father is not on birth certificate. Father is not involved at all.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about the father then. That's a sad thing, because I think all fathers should be of a part to help out. Raising children is a two-person thing. Thing, and it's like if having fun making children is one thing, but the responsibility of raising a child is very important.
I agree with you. But anyway, and we were actually residents of the state of Florida at the time. And at first,
so you were in transit when you were out here in Los Angeles?
Yes, we literally just came out here. I was triggered by my ex in Florida, and it's not an ex-husband, it's a partner of 3 years. I won't go into the details of that. Came out here, was going to look for resources out here, and then this happened before any of that could happen.
Wow.
So here we are a year in. This Thursday, actually, in 2 days, I have my 21E, that's the 6-month review hearing. When this happened, because of my personal situation with the ex in Florida, no resources. The police kept the vehicle, which then got impounded because I wasn't paying on it. Was literally released, became homeless, when I was released from jail in Burbank. And then just over the last year, it's been an incredible, educational experience. getting connected with the proper resources here. Los Angeles, very lucky, has a lot of social services that are simply not available in other places. I'm looking at, and then I guess back to the focus of the case, the two allegations that were brought against me by the Children's Court. Number one was, of course, related to abuse, neglect. That one was dismissed during the, it's not jurisdiction. Is it jurisdictional or dispositional? I get them confused. The one that they judge you.
That's the dependency one, the independency court.
Correct. Yeah, that one was dismissed. However, again, I heard the earlier caller mention, the mental health. The report cited mental health concerns. They cited a bipolar diagnosis, which I've never received, et cetera. So they're going the mental health route at this point. I have gotten housing here. I'm actually getting keys signed into a place tomorrow. But that's where we're at right now. And my lawyer, as much as I was trying to get myself educated, the more you learn, the more you know you don't know. And that's how I came across you and then Mr. Davis's show here, trying to get as educated as I can. My lawyer refused to cross-examine, social worker, anybody, refused to present evidence on my behalf. It's been really a terrifying experience, actually.
Do you have any family members that can support you? Do you have any family members that can help you?
I do not, unfortunately.
So you burned all your ties in Florida and you came out to Los Angeles and you see how really bad Los Angeles is. It's quite a nightmare of a city. I mean, you're not the only...
I'm thankful for it compared to the resources that with the domestic violence situation in Florida. I'm very thankful, actually, for the resources that are here.
Yeah.
But, of course, the goal is to be reunited with the children.
Right. Now, so where are you at right now? What's your next court date?
Actually, just 2 days away, this Thursday, for the 6-month review.
For the 6-month review. Now, are you on a plan called a reunification plan?
Yes, sir.
And what do you have to do? You have to take some parenting classes?
Yes.
And then what program classes you got to take?
I'm sorry, ask that again?
Program classes like domestic violence or like Alcohol Anonymous or drug related. You don't have none of those programs to do, right?
No, it was just a parenting class that was completed back last November, early December.
Okay.
I needed to do a psychiatric evaluation that was completed last September, and then I need to do therapy.
Okay, and have you...
six sessions into therapy.
Okay. But do you get to visit your kids?
I do. Back a year ago, the judge ordered 9 hours a week, three visits of 3 hours each. And in reality, what that is it's an hour 3 times a week. But my lawyer, documented with emails and all of that, just absolutely simply refuses to advocate for the visitation.
Right. Well, I know one thing. You're going to have a chance to talk to Mr. Davis, who is the real deal. He's a $500 an hour attorney, and so you get to talk to him free and ask your questions. You're going to have to prioritize your questions because you want to put the questions you want answered first.
Do you have any advice, knowing the very little that you do about this case? One thing that I think is very wise that he says is, I can rehash in my opinion, everything that has gone wrong, if you will, in the case. But really what matters is, he says, if you're still in the case, you need to focus on where you are in this moment. Reliving, all the other steps isn't applicable right now. Focus on right now. What best can be done. Right.
Well, one thing you could do is listen to my show twice a day to things that sink in you. I try to make each show different. There are a lot of people that help, like Lodoy, who's the caller before you, is trying to help out Queen Bee because she has a similar case to her. And so I'm looking at the messages where they're from. I have Cruel, who is Felicia from Ventura, California, and she's part of my regular crew. And she says, "Hello, Uncle Bob." Um, I don't care if people have my number. Someone's trying to call me. Hold on 1 second. Hold on one second. Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, someone was trying to call me. I can only talk to one person at a time. I'll try to come back and see who that was. Um, let me see. Um, I can only do Zan. I can only do one person at a time. I can only do one person at a time, Zan. Um, oh, someone tried to call in. I guess again there. Now, Cruel says something to the effect that they're unable to help me. The attorneys won't take that type of case, only practice some wildly specific niche area of family law. What Cruel's problem is, she has family members against her, and they're trying to take her home their mother and her are living in against her. So, um, yes, if people could afford, they would hire attorney Vincent Davis Child. I know that. Um, And now Cruel has consulted with him, but doesn't have the retainer. Now, just in LA County alone, retainer is $5,000. I know that's a lot of money. I know that's your only obstacle too, Cruel. And I know you would give your life. She's been in here. That's me calling. I'm waiting my turn. Okay, I'll get you in here. Hold on. So, um, Molly, what I can give you advice on is one, make your attorney that you have work for you. Tell him that you'll call the state bar and complain, and he'll lose his license. Two, you can sue him for negligence. Three, you can replace him. You go to the court, public defender's office, and say, I want another attorney who will fight for me. You have to be persistent. And please keep calling, attend my shows twice a day, and you get a lot of information, okay?
Excellent. Thank you so very much.
Sure, Molly, and don't hesitate ever calling. You got me for a long time. I've been doing this now for 18 months, so I won't disappear on you. I'm here twice a day. So thank you for calling in, Molly. Now, Zan, it's your turn to go ahead and call in, Zan. Zan, you can call in. Oh boy. This is Bob Pace Live, whom I have the pleasure of talking to.
Oh, wait. Hi, this is Andrea.
Okay, is this Zan? Is this Zan?
Yes, this is Andrea.
All right, Zan. You now you're talking to me on the phone, and oh boy, I forgot to tell Molly what to do. I have to call her back. Okay. Zan, what part of the world are you from again?
I'm in the Pacific Northwest, Tacoma, Washington.
Okay. And what is your case about? What is your case? You have a CPS case?
So, all of my cases came back unfounded. But however, I am, I'm in the process of celebrating. I did just file the 1983 in our district court last week, and so I'm waiting for a response on that. I did get that bit of information from Mr. Davis. However, I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I went through, the civil rights violations that occurred in my case when it came to me and my kids, if that's okay.
Okay, go ahead. I will see.
Okay, so I was a victim. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. At the time, I was homeless and I was fleeing from my abuser, and I have two young children. We've never been separated before. Their dads were not in the picture. One of my son's dads were in prison, and so we kind of just teamworked over the phone. Long story short, I ended up getting with this guy. He separated me and my kids. Coming to find out, he had been weaponizing CPS against us. And so I had black CPS in Pierce County. I let them know, like, hey, I'm thinking that this guy is, calling you guys, because every time I turn around, I have a CPS case. Every time I leave them, I've never had CPS. And, I'm very, very well known. I had a lot of community support. I was just homeless. Well, at the end of the day, he separated me from my kids. So without me knowing this, like, I woke up at a store. He told the people in the store that I stole his wallet. When I came out the store, the police were there. And so they're trying to arrest me. So I tell the police, like, tell me to get my kids. Take me to get my kids. They basically said, no, just don't go back. Don't, no shit won't be done. Oh, sorry. But anyway, so then when I went to go get my babies, they weren't there. And I reported my kids missing, and I was arrested for like a misdemeanor warrant prior, like maybe 5 years prior or whatever. They ended up holding me in jail a day. Like, I was supposed to be released like in 3 days. Instead, they held me 4 days. I never got to see my son, my youngest son, ever again. No correspondence or nothing like that. They basically railroaded me, publicly humiliated me. I'm so used to criminal court. I was telling my attorney, like, hey, they need to charge me with something. And she was like, well, it doesn't work like that. I said, well, we never got asked what happened. Long story short, they basically couldn't find any fault in my mothering or, my ability to provide or anything. I was really just homeless. And so everything was an emergency order. I'm getting 2 different judges. They basically stretched out a 72-hour shelter care into a 9-month process that I never saw my 5-year-old again. We had to retrieve my 5-year-old from North Las Vegas with the help of the police department in that
Robert.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's been hellish. And so at this point, I've done everything to try to get attorneys to try to get some type of help. The support that I did have consisted of nothing but professional attorneys that are, advocating for women's rights. I was the only one there, and I don't know how I made it up out of unscathed. But I just wanted to give to the other women and the other moms, if possible. You have to speak up for yourself. You have to introduce yourself. You're more than just a mother. But long story short, Mr. Pay, I got my kids back. I had to get a writ of habeas corpus. I had to get power of attorney. I was in the midst of 9 legal battles in separate counties, in separate states. And I have not been able to find any representation. I'm a full-time college student. Me and my kids, we are together. We are healing, on our own. It's been a lot, and I have been trying to get attorneys. But now that I've filed the case, what are my next steps? Because I'm done with it. I'm not a lawyer.
Well, what you need to do, if your case, you need to do 2 things. You need to get a letter from CPS saying your case is closed in writing.
9 of those. I have about 9 of those, all unfounded. I actually had to contact.
No, but you have to have it from CPS. And the second thing is that you got to have your record expunged.
That's what I asked for. So I wrote a formal complaint to the to the 9th Circuit Court or whatnot. I did utilize AI and just some of the circumstances like the interstate compact, and I filed a complaint. They did accept my motion, and I do have everything verified, certified court copies of everything. It's really good, but all my evidence is disseminated, and like now it's kind of just I just feel like it's just like me against the state now.
Okay. What I got to do is I looked at my clock and my show is been over. I have to end the show. That doesn't mean I can't still talk to you, but you will be able to talk to Vincent Davis, and I'm going to tell you how to do so. You need to text me your full name, your email, and your phone number, and then I'll arrange it with my show producer, Grace, to get you to see Mr. Davis for 15 minutes. Make a list of questions and prioritize them. And when you speak to Mr. Davis, it'll be a one-on-one Zoom consultation. Okay?
That's awesome. Yes, thank you.
Right.
Thank
so that's what I do. But then if you want to talk further, I'm on again tomorrow morning at 10 or tomorrow night at 7. So I'm on twice a day, 14 times a week. I've been doing this for 18 months. So you're not alone.
Okay.
So I don't want you to feel rushed, but go ahead and do that, okay?
Yes, I will. I'll talk to you soon. I'm looking
All right.
forward to it.
Thank you. Bye-bye. God bless. Bye-bye. Okay, Robert. Okay, I got to end the live stream here. I know it's been kind of disjunted. We had a lot of people tonight. I appreciate all the input from everybody. I appreciate from Queen Bee and Child, of course. Child sent a lot of prayers tonight, Child. Thank you so much. Um, and we have Queen Bee. We have Cruel, who's Felicia Ventura. And then we have, I just got speaking to Zanzan from Washington. And thank you so much. I did talk to Molly from Florida. And Molly, if you're still listening, I need to call you because I have to tell you how to get your 15 minutes with Mr. Davis. And I just spoke to Zanzan and also spoke to Lou Daunt too. That was nice to hear from you too. Nothing's impossible. You just have to keep at it. And you have to do the internet. There's a lot you can research on the internet. There's a lot to look forward to there. Now, I have Molly. Brandy Lee, I didn't forget you. And thank you very much for coming in here. All of you tonight. God bless you all. Keep fighting for your children. Don't give up. And this is Bob Pace signing off. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.